Today we got a Windows Phone. So, almost a year ago, I decided to buy a Windows Phone because I was getting pretty nostalgic about it. In 2016, I used to use a Microsoft Lumia 950 XL, but then I stopped using it and got back to my iPhone 4S that I used to use at the time. The reason for my switch back to iOS was because of lack of app support. No YouTube, no Clash Royale, no Google. It was really difficult to use this operating system, even when it was getting support from Microsoft. Yeah, in 2019, Microsoft decided to say goodbye to Windows Phone and ended support for Windows Phone 10, which was the last version of the Windows Phone. But how useful is Windows Phone nowadays? So this is the Microsoft Lumia 640 LTE Dual SIM. This phone came from Germany. As you can see, there's some German bloatware here. This phone was originally able to only go up to Windows 8.1, but I found a way to install Windows 10. It has a Snapdragon 400 and 1GB of RAM. So with these specs, you can play games such as score world goals, or even some piano. For the cameras, the selfie camera has only 1 megapixel and can record video up to 720p, and the rear camera has 8 megapixels and an LED flash. It's also capable of recording video up to 1080p, 30 fps. These cameras are really bad compared with nowadays phones. Like, you have cheap phones with 48 megapixels cameras capable of doing 4K video. In terms of connectivity, this phone is capable of 4G, so making calls and sending messages work very well. But one thing that is really bad is using the internet. Navigating is a nightmare. This version of Microsoft Edge is pretty old and most of their websites don't function anymore. It has a headphone jack, charges with a micro USB cable, has an easily removable 2500 mAh battery, a SD card slot, and 2 SIM card slots. But the things that put this phone behind the others is the lack of security updates and lack of app support. Like, if we go to Microsoft Store, you can see that's like only showing 25 apps at the home page. That's sad. And if you try to search any app on this, you either going to need to pay the app or it just doesn't function anymore. So, do I recommend this phone for anyone? Well, if you only want to do simple tasks like make calls, send a message, then this works just fine. But the fact that this phone has bad camera, lack of support, and old hardware is just not worth investing your money on it. Maybe if you want to use it as a backup phone or you want to make a collection of old phones. But let me know in the comments if you would buy a Windows Phone in 2024. Anyways, Dio.exe signing out. See you next time.